Pablo Banchero on the. I forgot that Markel Fultz was on Orlando. He was, remember, people keep talking about Ben Simmons had the shooting complex. Markel Fultz looked pretty good to me. He fixed his form. So why the fuck Bill Simmons can't do it? Because Ben
Again,
Simmons,
go.
bro, Ben Simmons is trash. Like I was telling somebody, I said, listen, just because someone has an all-star and this and that, Ben Simmons never won Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, it's happening for me too.
Yeah, see, I paused my shit. You muted it?
Yeah, I tell you, I
Yeah.
ain't doing it.
So what I'm saying is like Ben Simmons to me can never be a number one or a two. Ben Simmons is someone that you can just get. He's going to give you 10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and hustle plays. Ben Simmons was in a great situation with Embiid. He was
He's
in a
never.
great situation.
Yeah,
He
he's
didn't
never
have the
gonna.
pressure. He didn't have the pressure being a man. But once he decided not to shoot that ball, even I would have rather him make the layup and go to the line and miss than not shoot at all.
But that is just not who he is. He doesn't have the We talked about it earlier. Like you don't have the motivation to get a jump hook, and when it's game time, you that emotionally scared and all that. People who were defending him, there were people trying to tell me like, "Oh, it's mental health to stand in third." I said, "Bro, first of all, I don't like when people use that. With Kanye, I get all that. Like, and even Kyrie might have something to do with mental health, bro. With
Bro,
Ben
like
Simmons,
I
What
can't.
is he like? Yo, you are showing up with a bunch of models online every day. You're changing your clothes up just a fashion show for you. It's looking like you just want attention.
No, I can't say that because I've seen Ben Simmons play at LSU. He was scoring. What the problem was is this: Doc Rivers. Once Doc Rivers and Embiid said what they said about Ben Simmons, it was over. It was over because this is your teammate on national TV and your coach throwing you under the bus. Now, they could have easily had the same conversation behind closed doors and maybe it would have went differently. Think about this. Ben Simmons, after that happened, fuck y'all. I'm not even thinking about being an offensive player. Fuck y'all, I want out of here. He went to Brooklyn, right? Now you in Brooklyn with Katie and Kyrie. You still don't have any pressure. What I'm saying is Ben Simmons is a type of player is he had a lot of hype around him. He did not. Ben Simmons might be a bust as far as the talent and the hype. Look
He's
at what
easily a bust.
he's averaging 7. I can average 7 if you give me 2 months to get in shape in the league. Probably he's averaging 7. Like he's a
Right.
triple single like Draymond Green. Like you understand what I'm saying? I put it to you like this: if you was to put Ben Simmons on the Warriors right now, the Warriors can win the championship because Ben Simmons is younger and he'll be doing the same thing Draymond doing. Because there's no pressure. You got Clay, you got Steph, and you still got what
See,
you call him over there,
this is when
Wiggins.
you guys start underrating what Draymond brings to the table. Because Draymond, you still have to have a certain demeanor to run the offense. You have to be the general on that court. Ben Simmons does not have demeanor, bro. He just wants to show up and cash his check.
I'm not talking.
He does not have what it takes to do what you're doing.
No,
And
that's
I'm saying mentally
I'm
he's done. And
I'm not.
I don't like to use the excuse about the Doc Rivers thing because shit has always taken place in sports. Like we always talk about with Kareem and Magic Johnson. Ain't nothing new. It's been going on
No,
since before we were born.
that's not what
Ben
I mean.
Simmons, you are soft.
I'm not talking
Period.
about I'm not talking about playing exactly and being a heart and soul like Draymond is. I'm talking about look at the two players. Neither one of them have a jump shot. Both of them can pass and rebound and play. That's what I'm talking about. They are the same player. Ben Simmons is slightly better than Draymond. Draymond Green is a better leader, yes, and emotion. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they're the same player. If you put Ben Simmons with Draymond is, they're both going to give you the same amount of points, the same amount of rebounds, the same amount of assists. Just that Draymond's going to give you 100% more emotional and leader than Ben. I'm not talking. That's the only thing. You're right about that. I'm just saying if I could just drop someone in and just play one game, if I could drop Ben Simmons for one game, it'll look the same as if Draymond was, because Draymond, no one, they let him shoot like they let Ben
No,
Simmons shoot.
but Draymond Green, even in the championship last year, he went from total obscurity. He said he was shook. The very next game he came out and he was impactful. Ben Simmons disappears way too often in every game. Draymond
Again,
Green, hold on. Draymond Green can have the worst of games and still somehow was gonna kick somebody in the nuts. He's
I'm
still
not.
gonna he's gonna show up on that TV
That's not
screen.
what I'm just
Right,
talking
but
about.
the
Look
that's
at
those are the
if
things
you
that Ben Simmons are not
no,
going to do at all. He's
and we
not
know
making
that.
that
And
effort.
listen, and we know I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you put these two players up, both with a question mark and the exact same numbers, you won't be able to tell the players apart. That's
Right,
what I'm talking about.
right
I'm
on
not talking.
on the
I'm
stat sheet.
talking.
No,
That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about effort and heart and all. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you put two question marks up on the screen and the number of stats, they're gonna mimic each other. That's all.
do you think
Draymond
that
Green is a way better leader, emotional crunch time player because he's a champion. He's been that. He's a team guy. Ben
right?
Simmons is just Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going on with him. He getting his check and going home. I'm not mad at that. They want to give him $150 million. Hey,
So that's my beef when people try to point to the Doc. And listen, I'm not a Doc Rivers fan. I love Joel Embiid. I think he's a wrestler. I don't care for like, all right, he shouldn't have called you out, fine. But at the same time, that is not a reason for you to go flip like that. I don't want to hear that. Like you just said, the heart of a champion. Like a lot of this stuff is cliche, but it's true. Ben
yeah,
Simmons has nowhere near the heart of a champion. That
because you
is
got to think,
awful.
bro. You got to think about it. I've had jobs where I went there and did mediocre shit because I ain't give a fuck. Bro, these guys, some of these guys, remember, everybody don't want to play for 20 years. Everybody not going to stay after work and do extra work. I work
Right,
from 9 to 5, and at 9 o'clock I'm coming in, and at 5 o'clock I'm going home. Everybody's not meant to be a leader and do certain things. We know that. I'm just
right.
saying that Ben Simmons' talent, you can plug Ben Simmons in any system as long as as long as he doesn't have any pressure. Hold up, LeBron, Coach K gonna interview LeBron?